certainly one of the days Ghanaians have been fantasizing and dreaming about. Hopefully, we'll get to rejoice and be glad in it after 6 p.m. because the Black Stars take center stage today as the turn of the Stars in Group H, where they get to play that all-important opener against Portugal. Well, it's time for AM Sports. My name is Abigail Sena Sosu. So we go straight to the camp of the Black Stars because yesterday, Coach Otuado and his captain, Andre, got a time with the presser to tell us what they are really preparing and doing ahead of that game. And our coach says that their priority is heading into this Group H opener at the 2022 World Cup, and that is to beat Portugal. Notes that Ghana is ranked the lowest country at the global showpiece, and Ghana will begin their journey against Portugal at the Stadium 974. Despite not being regarded as the top two favorites in the group on paper, Otuado says that the target for the team is to advance into the knockout stage, while adding that winning against Portugal is the main objective.
Jumbo, I would say, surely we want to survive the group stage, and but I think we go well by going game after game, and so our full focus is on the Portuguese game, and if we don't look too far, if we concentrate on the next game, I think we can reach something. But yeah, like I said, we have to survive the group stage, and then from there, nobody knows. Depends on who you get or whatsoever, also how you play, and it's very, very difficult to predict. So we have one aim, and this is to win against Portugal, which will be very, very difficult. And then after this, we look for the next step. Yeah, surely we have a plan. We have our last training today. And then we will have it like 100%. And obviously, I can't speak about what we want to do. From what I see, the boys are doing the training. It's going to be a tough match, also for Portugal. It's not easy. Won't be easy to beat us. And that's all I can say. And I don't know who's going to play, but I think maybe Cristiano will play, and also Bernardo Silva. They're really, really good players, but we also have a good defense. So it's going to be difficult, but nothing is impossible.
So we're in a high spirit, hoping that the Black Stars can translate everything Coach Otuado have said onto the field when it's time, when they march out of that dugout to play against Portugal. But my colleague Muftar Nabil Abdullah is in Doha, Qatar, and standing by to tell us the mood in camp, in and around the stadium, waiting for the Stars to have their turn at this tournament. Muftar, if you can hear me, good morning.
Good morning, Abigail. Thanks for having me.
It's good to see you, and with all these smiles that you are beaming with, tell us what is happening in Doha, Qatar. Some good news, I'm sure.
Well, everything has been pretty positive. The Black Stars had their final training session yesterday, and that press conference gone by, I was there, and I also had an opportunity of interacting with Otuado and Andrea even after the press conference. And one thing I can say with certainty is that Otuado is very convinced about his ideas, how he's going to approach this game. Andrea, I remember speaking to him, and I reminded him of the 2014 World Cup, where Ghana lost 2-1 to Portugal. And he said, this is a different team, and that nothing is impossible. In fact, he started the example of Saudi Arabia beating Argentina. That who would have thought that Saudi Arabia would be the team to end Argentina's 36-game unbeaten run. I also had a conversation with the communication director of the Ghana Football Association, Harry Asentutum. He brought the two of them to the press conference. And, he's more privileged to get access to the team closer. And what he was telling me was that Ghanaians should be ready, and they should expect the Black Stars to put up the best of performances. They believe that the game against Portugal is going to be a very difficult one, but nothing is impossible. Otuado said it, nothing is impossible. Andrea, you also said it, nothing is impossible. So if nothing is impossible, we would be going to that very stadium, expecting the Black Stars to rise to the occasion. This is the fourth time the senior national team will be participating in this Mundial. And if there is a moment that everyone would want to be associated with, that moment is now. And that contest against Portugal is one. It might not be the defining moment of the Black Stars in terms of their ability or how to do well in this tournament, but it could be a moment that could either catapult them to fight and qualify to the next stage of the competition or dampen their spirit. But based on what I've witnessed so far, it's been quite positive, and the Black Stars could just be on their way to pulling out one next against Portugal.
At home, we are seriously counting down about some 8 hours to the game here. I don't know what the itinerary looks like this morning. Is everybody in their rooms locked up somewhere? Have you seen the team? What are they up to this morning, especially?
At this point, security surrounding the team is quite compact, so it's difficult for you to get access to the team. But one thing I can say with certainty is that they are supposed to have their breakfast. It's about 10:32 here, so I'm sure by now they've had a breakfast. So their final team meeting will happen before they will proceed to the stadium. Kickoff here is at 7 p.m. Qatar time. That will be like 4 p.m. Ghana time.
Yeah.
So yeah, they'll be having their breakfast. I can't tell with certainty where they've had it because security did not grant us access to the team. But what I can say is that after the breakfast, the players will go back to their rooms, take a good rest, and then they'll come up and head to the stadium for that big kickoff tonight.
I don't know if you were preview to their last training session yesterday, and with Coach Otuado so uptight with his tactics and starting lineup and all of that. Did you see any glimpses of the starting 11, the possible lads that could walk out of that dugout for Ghana?
There's one wild card that I saw, and that wild card is a possibility of Daniel Afuye. I have witnessed so far.
Mufsal, you would have to take that again. We didn't hear your wild card.
Apologies. A call was coming through. What I said is that based on what I have witnessed, there's a possibility of a wild card. And that wild card could be Daniel Afuye starting. But based on what I have seen so far, I can report that Atizigi is definitely the first choice. Tariq Lamptey is likely to start ahead of Dennis Odoi. The left back will be occupied by Baorama. And the center pairing is going to be quite dicey because I noticed that Mohamed Salisu and Jiku made a swap. I know usually in the final training sessions, coaches do not want you to have a perfect picture of what they are likely to do. Yeah. But I noticed that if you take a look at those who were in bips and those who were not, it's much easier to guess who's going to start. But there was a swap between Alexander Jiku and Daniel Amate. And then Mohamed Salisu. That's why I'm thinking there's a possibility that either Jiku or Salisu would start in this game. But in the midfield, that was quite certain. It's going to be a Thomas Partey, a Mohamed Kudus, and Kofi Chiremitsor. If what I witnessed yesterday is anything to go by, Jordan Ayew is like... Apologies once again. Jordan Ayew is likely to be on the left flank. Inaki Williams is likely to lead the attacking line of the Black Stars. And Andre Ayew is going to be the number 10 for this lineup against Portugal tonight. Okay,
based on your lineup and what you have seen, so who will be that one to sit aside for our wild card, the wild card that we all wish to see, Afuye Banier to be pushed in there?
It was quite interesting because if you take a look at the players who were used on the right flank, it was Afuye Banier who was on there. Fatal Isaku was not there. Kamaldeen Sulemana was not there. Osman Bukhari was not there. That is why I'm thinking there's a possibility that he could be that wild card. Because most coaches, like I mentioned earlier, there's a possibility that he wouldn't allow us to have a perfect picture as to who is going to start or who would not start.
Yeah.
But if there's going to be a wild card that could possibly start against Portugal, that wild card could be Daniel Afuye Banier. But there's also a possibility that he just used him there as a dummy and would replace him with a different player when he comes. to the game itself tonight.
Okay, for us back at home and for us lovers of the local league, it would be good to see Barnier in there again. But in all totality, we wish the team the very best. But what is the atmosphere like?
As a fan of the Ghana Premier League, you probably would be so excited about this one, isn't it?
I would have been the happiest if it happens that way, to see Daniel Efie Barnier, or maybe the lad have a taste at that world stage against with the best in the game at the moment. You know, it gives them that morale that we want them to build up for the future. And so we can only keep our fingers crossed. And if there should be wildcats, we hope that it will be the lad and Efie Barnier being pushed in there.
Hopefully, he will be pushed in there. And hopefully he will be given the confidence to go out and do his best. It's going to be a big night, a big night, a night for Ghana football, a night for African football, because the Black Stars are back to the state where they belong.
But are there fans with you?
I just had someone tell me that Portugal will suffer a 3-0 defeat. Hopefully, that is scoreline we can anticipate. If
there are some Ghanaians around you, maybe you can briefly interact with them, because today is for the Black Stars, and so we have the luxury of time
There are many Ghanaians around me. There are many Ghanaians around me who are all looking to get an opportunity of going into the stadium. So if you could just hang on a moment for me. I was here with Maxwell Asabri.
I will.
Not too long ago, and he's still around.
Okay.
Zibula, please come. Zibula, please come here. Come this way. I just have Zibula here. He's with Metro TV.
Okay.
Zibula, what do you expect to see tonight against Portugal?
Okay, today against Portugal, we all know the Portuguese is a very difficult game. Of course, we are expecting a very difficult game from the Portuguese side. So far, we've had one huge surprise in the tournament so far. Saudi beating Argentina, and Portugal will be wary of that will also happen against them.
So Japan also beating Germany.
Yes, and Japan also beating Germany, so they'll be wary of that, and they'll be coming very prepared and not complacent at all. So we will need to get our acts right today, and also hope for a little bit of luck on our side to be able to pass, to be able to get a very good result today. So we are hoping for the best today.
Hoping for a bet. That is from Zibula. Would you mind to say something on the Ghana Portugal game? Welcome to JoyNews.
Thank you.
What do you expect to see tonight against
Portugal? People are saying that we're going to shock the world, but I mean, we have a young generation of players that are just going to go and be themselves, like we saw in the friendly that with Switzerland. So I'm expecting nothing but the best. Saudi was the shocker. Japan did their best, and so the Black Stars are also going to go and camp. So the world should just watch out, because the Black Stars have come with so much energy and with a storm that's going to blow Qatar away. So tonight's game, I'm predicting a 3-0 win. I'm going to say 1, but no. What didn't they do to Messi? What can we do to see Ronaldo? So 3-0.
3-0, she says, and Black Stars is here with a storm, and that storm is going to blow away the world. You want to see the Black Stars tonight. What do you expect to see? What kind of performance do you want to witness from the national team?
Muftao, I keep on telling my colleagues that it's the same people who play in Europe. Yes. We have Pate, we have Kudus. They are playing regularly in the Champions League. So this is not a match for us. I have so much confidence in the team that when it comes to big stage, they will deliver. And I keep on saying that today, if we are going to win, we are going to win by a goal to 0. And Kudus or Pate will give us the win tonight.
Kudus or Pate is going to give us the win. Abigail, I don't know if you have the patience for me to still get to reach out to more people. I'm going to speak to my gentleman here. Welcome to JoyNews, Abdallah. A quick one. We are going to see the Black Stars tonight. Tell us, how ready are we? What have you seen?
We are very, very ready. We are very, very ready. So I think 2-0 is okay.
2-0 is okay.
For the meantime, 2-0 is okay.
Abigail, you've had 3 separate defense.
2-0 is okay. So
2-0 is enough. Yeah, what about you? Welcome to JoyNews. 2-1. The drama has been 2-1. Argentina 1, Saudi 2, Japan 2, Germany 2. Abigail, I'm getting some more supporters here who are all here wanting to see the Black Stars. Then let's speak to David. Welcome to JoyNews. Tonight, Ghana versus Portugal. What do you want to see?
We have to be
And it is true. Yes.
just have to commit at the end of the day, victory can be ours. Please talk to me. Yes. Welcome to JoyNews. Tonight, you are here to throw your weight behind the Black Stars. Tell us, why did you travel all the way from Ghana to Qatar?
Well, this time what I see about the team, I think we have individual players, we have the players. So we are playing with the coach to select the right thing. If the right thing is done, I think Ghana will go far.
The right thing is done. Yes. But let's look at tonight's game. Tonight against Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo, Joao Moutinho, Cancelo, Joao Felix, many players. Do we stand a chance?
We are winning this match. You know, there are been some surprises for this tournament. I hope you are following. Maybe, for example, we can talk of the Argentina with Saudi Arabia, Japan with Germany. So there's likely that Ghana can also beat Portugal. It's a matter of doing your things right. Someone says it's a favor that went for Saudi Arabia, which is not possible. Football is not about favor. It's about preparation.
It's about preparation.
Yes.
Are we prepared?
That's another thing. That's why I said when you do the right thing, we are scoring Portugal.
Last question is, are you prepared? We are going to win this match very hard. It's a simple game. It's a simple game. 2-0. Yeah. 2-0. Let me tell you, when Zero is even having a psychological trauma. How? Manchester just acting. So being on the foot, he's not of himself.
I say he was not away the match.
Yeah. Oh, you will not play team today. Market on our.
But how would that affect, say,
football is psychological?
How would that affect?
Oh, was he not playing with Bruno Fernandes?
He was.
And he knows he's part of those who are making to know about him. So they are not cool. They are not cool. Today, you know, African football mathematics. You calculated it. After the game, we will run this interview here. You mark it on the number. After this game, we will come. After the game, we will come here and come and tell you that
I hear with your calculator.
You know already.
Okay.
Black Star, nothing changes. We are winning.
Ghana is scoring 2.
Okay, but Mutao, I'm really getting the vibe around you and the team back in Doha. So. Interesting moments there. Nabila is having a fun of his lifetime with the people in Doha. But we're also joined by New Adams, who has also joined the team in Qatar. I think before he emplaned, we had a very lengthy chat on Sports Review on Saturday. So I don't know what has changed, but maybe Nu can tell us what really is happening on the ground. Nu, if you can hear me, good morning.
Yes.
Just put that flag behind me.
No, if you can hear me, good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to see you. We had a very lengthy chat on Sports Review before you left on Saturday. Tell us, on the ground in Doha, Qatar, what has changed from the conversations we're having around the Black Stars?
Nothing has changed. People are in high morals. They believe that the Black Stars can spring an upset against Portugal because looking at the results of some of the games, like Japan beating Germany, Saudi Arabia also beating Argentina, they know the Black Stars have the quality to upset Portugal today. So that is what we are looking for.
Talking about the games that you have rightly pointed out, nobody said that Hervé Renard and his Saudi side could do that to Argentina. Yes, it would put a lot of pressure on Portugal, especially Cristiano Ronaldo, because he would want to prove a point. We know him every other time. It doesn't go well for Messi. He would wish he would be the one to do the best of it. But the squad that we have, we think that we can match up to this Portuguese side that will also not allow us repeat what has happened to Argentina and Germany to them.
Well, of course, the bigger countries are picking lessons from the results that have been coming out of these games in Qatar here, because they feel they will have to put the house in order, not to underrate anything. And Portugal are coming into this game with some poor run of results. You know, their last 15 matches in the World Cup, they've managed only 3 wins, and that's so poor. They've drawn 5 and lost the 5 others. So it's something they want to put it aside and make sure they start this World Cup on a very good note. But we have the quality. Individually, we have players who can match every single player in the Portuguese team, with the exception of Ronaldo, who has greater number of statistics going inside. And we all know that he has been in the news for the wrong reasons. So we want to prove a point today against the Black Stars. But looking at the report from the camp and from training, the Black Stars are poised. They are ready. They are ready to die for the country. They are ready to make sure they put smiles on Ghanaians after 7 p.m. Ghana time today.
Drawing the analysis of both sides, what are your expectations of the Black Stars? How best do you think Otuado can line up his men against Ronaldo's Portugal?
Well, selection is always going to be a headache for any coach who is handling the team now. But Otuado and his technical men by now know who should start, who should come from the bench, and at what time should they bring in 1 or 2 or certain players. So I don't have an idea as to which players are going to start against Portugal, but on the hindsight, we can know that Atizigi will maintain his position. Tarek Lamte is likely to play. Baba Rahman is also likely to play. Mohamed Salisu and Daniel Amate in central defense. In midfield,
I'm sure we'll get to hear from Nuhu Adams whilst he gets back online with us. But it's been all energy around the Black Stars at home and even far away, Doha, Qatar, where they are preparing and hoping to line up against Portugal later in the day. Nuhu, you can continue.
Yes, as I was saying, Otuado and his men will come up with something great that will be able to upset the Portuguese tonight.
Not player specifics, but if you watched how the Saudis were able to hold Argentina, watch how the Japanese were able to hold Germany, it all boils down to a lot of zest, a lot of power, a lot of hard work, a lot of running, and some outburst of energy. Do we have that to be able to run at the Portuguese if need be?
Yeah, we have the youngest squad in this at this World Cup. So in terms of energy, in terms of strength, we should be up there because we have a very young squad. Looking at the team, we have players who are 20, 21, 22, 23. So these players are players who are expected to give out a lot of energy, a lot of strength against any opponent they face. So like we've seen the Japanese and the Saudis being too tactical and being too fast and quick enough to make sure they punish their opponent. We are expecting same from the Black Stars and Otuado. We want to see something like that against the Portuguese. They'll try to dominate possession. They'll try as much as possible to attack us. So we must be very resolute at the back, catch them on the break. And when we catch them on the break, we have to be so quick that by the time they realize the boys are at the back of the net. And
okay.
That's how we can beat them.
How many goals are you expecting from the Black Stars?
Well, I can't give a scoreline, but I know the results will be a result Ghanaians will be happy and celebrate about.
Okay, we'll continue this conversation on Saturday after the game, so you keep safe.
Thank you.
Okay, and so that is the Nuhu Adams far away in Doha, Qatar, with the team of Mukhtar Nabil Abdul, Gary Al Smith, and George Addo Jr. I'm sure we get to have all the updates from them as we are counting down to somewhat that all-important opener for the Black Stars of Ghana against Portugal. But ahead of this game, of course, Captain Andre Ayew would have to speak and has acknowledged that the Portugal side are favorite ahead of Group H opener. And he has, however, assured Ghanaians that the Black Stars have prepared well and will give the Portuguese a difficult time later this afternoon.
Well, as my boss said, it's not really our problem what's happening in the Portuguese team. But I think they are great professionals. They play for top teams, so they'll be ready for the World Cup. It's the biggest stage, so they will be ready for it. And yeah, if we're going to talk about favorites, we cannot get into this game and lie. We all know that if we are going to get into this game, Portugal are the ones who are favorites on paper. But after, we have to show on the field that on paper is not what will happen on the pitch. So we are ready. And we know we're playing a very big side who were European champions a few years back, who have top players. But we believe in ourselves, and we know what's ahead, and we're going to do everything to make it very difficult for them. Well, we all know that in these big tournaments there are a lot of surprises that can happen. So we just need to be ready. What Saudi did was great, was marvelous. But we need to think about ourselves, not look at what somebody has done. And we prepare for our game, which we are going to do everything to take something out of this game.
It's an all-important day for Ghana because the Black Stars are going to have their bite at that cherry in Qatar. The first bite, I should say, because there's an all-important game, like I keep saying. And so my colleagues, Benes Abubedu Lanza and Quinsta Japan and Maps are standing by to have their own sort of conversation around the Black Stars. Yes, we here also know how to talk about our Black Stars. So I'll join them now, and I am back to continue with the AM Sports.
Right, Abigail. Yes, it's all sorts of positive vibes for a lot of people. And the ladies and I are here again today. Remember, just before that World Cup was opened, we had a conversation, Queenster and I. Today, Maps joins us. Hello. It's good to have you. And we didn't plan which of the jerseys to wear, but for a very, I think, good reason, we are all in white, right? So it means Ghana is winning this, right? We can sense the victory. Okay, tell me what it was like for you coming to work. We know what it is like when the Black Stars is playing. What did you see? What did you observe? Are Ghanaians getting into the groove? Maps?
Okay, so I mean, you go to Kokomemle Mall, right, which is outside the kiosk, and people who are passing see you in your jersey and they're just excited, you know. They are hooting, they are making a noise, they or say Black Stars or say Black Stars. So a lot of people are very excited. Even when you enter the makeup room, they're wearing their Black Stars jerseys. You go to the control room, the director is in his Black Stars jersey. So people are very excited.
Yeah, I think coming to work, I saw a couple of taxis and private cars with the Ghana flag behind their cars. So I think Ghana, when you are going for tournaments, before the tournament, you feel like people don't really care, they don't support the team. But once it's time for us to play, they just come to the party. So I feel this time around is way better than what we experienced during the AFCON. I think the World Cup is a big deal, and Ghanaians love big things. So I'm sure this time around they are coming. Yeah. So it's
right. Cool. So let's go to the camp of the Black Stars now. And I have been monitoring what's been happening on the GFA's Black Stars page on Facebook. And yesterday, a photo popped up. Yeah. I just checked this morning, and it's had about plus 13,000 reactions, likes, loves, good vibes. Yeah. And it's all because Sule Montari was with the boys yesterday. Yeah. Maps, how did you feel when you saw that photo?
I mean, I saw it and it was like orgasmic. It was orgasmic. I mean, he's trending on Twitter. Yeah. You know, people really love seeing him at the camp, and they're just like, okay, you know what? There's some sort of like support behind the boys, and we love to see that. You know, a lot of people are saying that, oh, hashtag bring back the love, bring back the love. It's just nothing but like a hashtag. But you're seeing that people are supporting the Black Stars. So obviously something is happening, something is changing.
Yeah, so it's good to see old players come to camp, especially during tournaments like this. And Sule Muntari, he has seen it all when it comes to the Black Stars. And this crop of players really respect him. Some, I believe, were like, I want to be like Sule Muntari when I grow up and stuff. So for you to see him in camp right in front of you, it's a big deal, and I think it's a big motivation for the boys. And he would definitely tell them what he has seen, because he was there in 2010, so 2014 he was there. So he definitely give them a lot of morale and tell them, Charlie, this is Portugal. Yeah. The name might sound scary, but on the field, you just do what you do best. And so I think it's a good motivation for the boys, for Muntari to be in camp, and he's looking good. So.
Before we heard the 26-man squad, there were those who suggested, let's have at least a senior player in there. There were calls. I remember when I interviewed Reverend Lawrence Tete, who says that he is the chaplain of the Black Stars, unofficial sort of. He seemed to be pushing for Samojan to be taken. There were others who also felt the same way, that even if he wasn't going to be on the field, let's bench him. But once he is there, there's a certain sort of confidence, there's a certain sort of calmness that, you know, comes with how the team feels and the morale of the team. Would you say that we will still have that same benefit with Muntari's visit, even though he's not part of the squad per se?
I think we will, because Muntari, like I said earlier on, he is huge when it comes to the Black Stars, and I'm sure the players, I think the mere fact that they respect and adore him, because you know what you are going to do, being there, done that. So it's not as if, so whatever he tells you, he'll be telling you out of experience. So he be at the cabin, at the camp, I think it's good for the team. Although Olele is already there, he has also been the goalkeeper for the Black Stars. He was there for a while before he retired. So Muntari's addition will be good for the Black Stars.
Yeah. Right.
It's
okay.
better than none. So
Maps?
I think
you think same.
Yeah.
Okay. So look, the Black Stars are doing it today. We know what it is like for African nations. I remember when we played in South Africa, and we were the only team at that time that had the potential of going to the semis, and we lost that penalty. It was as if the whole weight of Africa was on the shoulders of Ghana. Maps, I know. Bafana is not happy with that, especially with what happened in the build-up to the AFCON and to the World Cup. We know Nigeria is still not too happy with that. But look, let's be honest. When it comes to Africa and the World Cup, there seems to be a certain collective. We've seen African countries play. Yesterday, I was hoping Tunisia could win the first game for Africa, but it didn't happen. Senegal couldn't. So there's a lot of pressure on the boys, okay, to perform. Besides that, we've also seen major upsets. Yesterday, Japan did it against Germany, and it was such an interesting win. Considering these two scenarios, one, the pressure on the boys to be the first African team to win their game, and also seeing that a lot of underdogs have caused major upsets, what is your expectation of the game today, Maps?
Expectations, I mean, we're hoping that the boys will win. But if we're looking at the reality on the ground, it's going to be an extremely tough game, you know, and with all the pressure, like you said, with all the pressure from various stakeholders and whatnot, it's going to be a tough game. I would love to say that, you know, I see a win for Ghana, but if I'm being very honest, I don't. Yeah, because I'm looking at Portugal's team. I'm looking at, you know, the players that they have. So it's going to be a really tough game. So I'm not sure if Ghana will, you know, live up to the expectations. But like you said, so far we've seen that it's been a game for the underdogs. Will Ghana be the first African team to win? Let's wait and see.
Yeah, and I feel Ghana will have to get inspiration from the likes of Saudi Arabia and Japan, because against Saudi Arabia's game, Saudi Arabia playing against Argentina, nobody gave them the chance of winning against Argentina. So I believe even if the African countries have not done, or they've not opened the door for us to pass through, I feel we should pick inspiration from these underdogs, because obviously we are going into this game against Portugal as the underdogs. So if Saudi Arabia did it against Argentina, Japan did it against Germany, I feel this should be a source of inspiration for us, and then we can do it. It will be extremely difficult against Portugal. It will be extremely difficult. So on the day today, we have to be close to perfect on the field. Like, you can't get anything wrong. 99% of everything you do on the field should be perfect. Other than that, you find yourself wanting. Yeah.
Now the team we have is a pretty young team, young blood. A lot of freshness in the team, but there's also a bit of inexperience that concerns a lot of football lovers. How do we gel the two? How do we ensure that, it's a young team, let's give them a chance, but also, like Queen Star is saying, how do we ensure that they give their best, even though they are inexperienced?
Well, at this current moment, it's pretty much too late to give anything, right? But we trust that the coach has worked hard. The coach has, trained them well enough for them to get on the pitch and to deliver. They might have been experienced, but that might be a good thing because they are hungry. Yeah, because they're inexperienced. They're like, okay, cool. I want to prove myself. So all the players will be on the field trying to prove themselves, and in trying to prove themselves, might score a goal or two. Which will be a good thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, so the inexperienced bit has its own advantages and disadvantages. So the advantage is what Maps has said. And then the disadvantage will be like, okay, this is the World Cup, it's a big stage. So if you have players who have been to the World Cup, they have the experience. No, don't worry, just calm down. At the end of the day, it's what you are doing on the field that matters. Forget about the fans. Once you score, they will be shouting. But until then, just keep your cool and do what you do best. I also feel that this Portugal side, they are also coming into the game very hungry. They've been chasing this World Cup since 1966. This is their 8th World Cup. We are coming, and this is our longest wait since 2014, because 2018 we couldn't come to the tournament. So I feel that the coach will have to try and find a way to balance. We can't even balance because the day you and Jordan are the only experienced players in the team, but so you should just
when
find
it comes to the World Cup.
Yes, they have been there before. Aside them, none of the players have been to the World Cup, so you should just find a way of talking to them. Let them know that though you are new players, you have to start from somewhere to gain experience. So just go out there, do your best, just die for Ghana. This is the time. It's now or never. So yeah,
I think the most important thing is that if they make sure that they feed that hunger and not their ego, then we will have a very good game. So that's the most important thing, is that they feed their hunger and not their egos.
Interesting. We've got our fingers crossed, guys. There's just one last thing I like to take the thoughts of the ladies on before we wrap up. Take a few of your comments. The president has left for Qatar. That is talking point for a lot of Ghanaians. They feel that, yes, we understand. We want them to know that we are with them, we support them. But it doesn't need you to go there. Franklin Kudjo of Imani Africa, for example, says a phone call will have done it. We know that the president of US, Joe Biden, did that. So just your quick thoughts on that. Considering where we are and the concerns about the economy, how much it is costing us to fly the president and his team, and also people feel it's bringing a lot of negative vibe to the positive vibe that was beginning to build up, because people are like, no, we don't even want politics associated with its Maps.
Okay, so I'm gonna take us back to Global Citizen Fest, the Global Festival, Citizens Festival, I beg your pardon, where it was a very great, environment. People were there to enjoy themselves. People were there to have the time of their lives. And then when the president came, we saw what happened, right? And like you said, you're bringing that negativity into that space. So I think, the president, did he really have to go and to Qatar? Honestly, no. Because what exactly are you going to do? If you talk to them?
They say it's going to motivate them.
Is it going to motivate them? Is it going to motivate them? Or is it just going to upset them? So I think it's honestly, who am I to advise the president? But I don't think that the president should have gone there, because looking at all the places that he's been there when people were there for positive vibes, and like the reaction that's met him, it's just, and also, sorry, today the finance minister will be reading the budget statement. So where are your priorities? If we're being on, where are your priorities? You can see people are complaining about hunger, people are complaining about the economy, and you, uncle, have decided to go to Qatar. Okay.
I would have stayed back if I was the president. Even if you want to speak to them, I think you can do that via Zoom, something. If you don't want to do the phone call, you want to look at them face to face, you can do it via Zoom. So I don't think I don't know, aside the motivation, I don't know what else drove him there. But if it's just the motivation, I thought he would have just stayed back and then do that from here.
All right, quickly, we're wrapping up shortly. When Maps comes later to have our social media segment, we'll take all your comments and predictions. But I'm putting you ladies on the spot. Maps, prediction for today's game.
Prediction for today's game, 2-0, and the 2's for Portugal.
Maps. Don't worry, the Bafana here is coming. Queen Star.
2-1 in favor of Ghana.
2-1 in favor of Ghana. Okay, like I say, I'm very what's the word?
Optimistic.
I'm very optimistic, yet I stay away from predictions. I just want a win for Ghana. However that win comes, whether there's a penalty or not.
Predictions. You can't.
We need a win. But hey, guys, you know how we do it here. If it's a prayer you want to say for the Stars, just do it. There's a photo you want to take and put it out there. Who knows? They will see your photo and get excited and know that at least there are Ghanaians who are behind the team. So go Black Stars, go. That is our cheer for you guys. All the best today in that game against Qatar, against Portugal. At 4 p.m., it will be live on Joy Prime and on Joy 99.7 FM. For now, we wrap up our conversation for sports. Benjamin Akapo takes over with our budget conversation. But later, during our interactive segment, we'll hear what you have to say about the Black Stars. Back to you in the studio.
And so before Benjamin takes over with all of that budget and political talk, we're still in the mood for Black Stars because we should be center stage today. So you can get through to us on the phone lines and also send us your predictions, the players you would want to see or to line up later against Portugal. Join us on the phone lines now on 0302-211-691, 0302-211-692, and tell us your predictions. Do you want to see Lawrence Atizigi in post, or you want to see Danlad Ibrahim? You would want to see Daniel Efie Bani again? I don't know. You want to see Salisu? I think at the moment some say he's the nicest in there. But okay, so 0302-211-691, 0302-211-692. Join us now with your predictions as we are counting down to that all-important Group H opener for Ghana because it's against another big gun in Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal against Andre Dede Ayew's Black Stars. And so we'll get to see how it pans out later at Stadium 974 in Doha, Qatar. So we are waiting. Okay, so Abdul Ganiu has joined us. Is that Kotoko player? Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, so Abdul Ganiu, you're calling us from?
Mankargo.
Okay, I thought it was the former Kotoko player, but okay, so
no, Mankargo.
Okay, so Ghana will line up against Qatar later today. Against Portugal in Qatar.
Portugal.
What are you expecting? Any predictions?
Inshallah, I know, and I'm praying for Ghana to score Portugal 1-0 against Portugal this evening. Inshallah, Ghana will score Portugal by the grace of Almighty Allah, by 1-0.
Okay, and who do you think can score that only goal for Ghana?
We have young guys, those who are playing the ball, and we have hope in all of them. I think at the end of the day, I am predicting maybe Fatau Isaku may score the goal because far as he has been playing for Portugal, one of the team in Portugal, he knows Portugal players very well, and he can do a magic there to score a goal for us.
Okay.
Patau Isaku will score the goal for Ghana, inshallah.
Okay, thank you very much, Abdul Ganiu. Clearly, it's Fatau Shaku you would want to see, and possibly he getting us the only goal. A lot of scorelines strictly in, but what remains dominant is 1, 2, 3. It looks like they don't see the Black Stars going beyond 3, like the Spanish have done. And so, we'll get to see what it is later for Ghana against Portugal. You can join me on phone 0302211691. Give me that prediction. Who do you want to see? For me, if you ask me. Okay, so Sergio has joined me. Sergio, good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing?
Fine.
Are you pumped up for the Black Stars today?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are your expectations? Who do you want to see? Can you give us a prediction?
They want to see.
Okay. Okay.
Tarek Lanti.
Okay.
Amati.
Okay. Okay.
And Baba Ma.
Okay, that's fine. And what's your prediction for this game?
The Ghana will go.
Okay, so for you, it's a win for Ghana, however it comes.
Huh?
I'm saying that you just want to see Ghana win.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for calling, Sergio. Okay, so that's Sergio also joining us with this prediction. He wants to see Atizigi, he wants to see Salisu, he wants to see a host of other players line up for the Black Stars of Ghana. But the feeling is not only in Accra. I'm told my colleague Bright Koku of Love FM is also on standby to tell us what is happening in Kumasi. And Bright, if you can hear me, good morning.
Abigail.
Probably are in some form of high spirits, going about our duties as well, but mindful that the Black Stars are going to be in action later in that Group H open up. Tell us the atmosphere in Kumasi. We know how much you love football.
Yeah, very much. We love football so much here in Kumasi. And the euphoria, I must say, is heightened over here. You walk through the streets and you find people wearing their Black Stars t-shirts, their jerseys. They are putting on their national colors, paraphernalia in the national colors. So I'm right here at Ejija Market, specifically at the Tech Junction, where I'll be interacting with some bus conductor, that is the Trotro mates. Already before I came here, they were heated. There was a bit of arguments. Some going for Ghana winning and others saying Portugal also winning. So we'll go inside and find out from them what is informing this expectation from the Black Stars today. So we'll move right inside and find them. So as you can see, these are some of the conductors here at this very station. So please come closer. Good morning.
Morning.
You are live on JoyNews TV. Yeah, what's your name?
My name is Eric Kwabna Success.
Okay, I can see before I came here, I saw you guys were so happy. You are happy, particularly you were saying Ghana was going to win. Yeah. What's your expectation for today?
Today Ghana will score 2-1. Portugal will score first goal, and Jordan and Dede will score the 2 goals. So Ghana will score 2 goals to 1.
Just 2 goals to 1. Yeah. Are you sure it's okay to push us?
Yeah, because we have to top the group. So we will score 2-1. It will be only 1 goal difference. And our next match we score Uruguay 2-0 and we draw South Korea. So we score 2 goals to 1.
So let's compare the performance earlier. We met with Switzerland in our last match, and then it was from there that everybody was excited that the Black Stars was going to perform. How did you see that particular match?
Our match against Switzerland, we played very well. Everybody know it. Our players were good. So we believe in them that they can score Portugal for us.
We believe in them. We are not meeting anybody than Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
I know Argentina met Saudi Arabia and then they were scored. Yes. So we've been considered as underdogs. Do you think we can score them?
I said Argentina will score first goal. And we scored them 2-1.
You scored them 2-1?
Yeah.
So who are those you are predicted to win?
Dede and Jordan.
Dede and Jordan. All right, so that's a gentleman also here. Let me find out from you also, gentleman. Okay, Mami new come. Okay, so they are not ready. Let me find out from you. Sorry, Mami. Now. I said, why heated, Kakra? Mami finding out. Saying, score, who say, match, who say?
Ayana, Ghana, Kaya Sempaibo. Chama Israel, Yamimai. Yamini Israel in Sawaso. Israel Conquasumu, Emma Yamiko Yomo. But Oman qualify. 80 Empire and Mobile. 8 years ago, Mokas same way. I Quakubon some class watch Ronaldo night. Not knowing that, and I know when you know John Boy night. What I say? There's a saying that impossibility being possible is faith. If Ghana score, yeah, it's good. But yeah, to me, there's no way. You bet me, I say. Yeah, to me, yeah. Yawadibu Oba Umpire, oh, Henyame. Yawadibu Oba Umpire, oh, Henyame. About time was so bumpire, said, Radiba Manania war. Also, bumpire, I said, Radima and Shep Portugal. And not possible.
But Onya Ghana, so we should expect, say,
Enune Kuyano, Enokre, Ayanokre, Ghana, Etimea Ghana, Nentino, and yet Messiah, and yet Messiah, and yet, Satama. Na your keeper, crowd debuno. anye na atizigi chama atizigi ya the nation Brazil ya the nation Portugal atizigi ya nation Portugal eti uye den ya enye eye ya fine ye nyina ye me flag wo hobat me ha me wonyi flag no na obi abehuru me atizigi ya nation Brazil Portugal uye den ya enye eye ya fine akwaya sa o papa ene matwoma en koko uye den ya babo papa o papa kono owini a fine but ya show papa normal o papa ho de na anuru eti ya me ya Ghana ni me ya Ghana fact Ghana Brazil Portugal omuni mbobo 100% echenye.
Okay, so that's also a gentleman who just explained that because Portugal is a better side than Ghana, they are going to score us no matter what we do, even if we have the best players. Already we've been said to be the underdogs in this particular championship. So he says we're facing against Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal, then they are definitely going to score us. So I also have another man here. He's already in his Black Stars jersey already. I can see you are when who say when you
oh many diaji because the Ghana of winning our share in my no and they were konano and country bia 32 nations in Ghana ubia ye ubia betimi age enti no we so potential winners ni bi enti ne yemu enwa bonfia say enya ade ye ade enti no say the 2010 ye ko ye 2006 ye ko ye and ye fail 2018 but 2020 there ye be make sure say ye be improve they say your quality players are betimi match Cristiano Ronaldo ne Bruno Fernandes Monia des yes o kudus money part mo bobo week in and week out our Premier League you know me when say Ghana your chances no you bet match Portugal you bet match so I try intimate say your Maya is a football nation born in Imbo your quality players or high profile players are week in day out at Omonka you bet match Portugal said they who say Germany Japan share or Saudi Arabia Argentina why not yes we are best Portugal by 2-1 you best Portugal.
Okay, so that's also another gentleman who says, based on the surprises we've had so far in the World Cup, Saudi Arabia scoring against Argentina, having yesterday Japan score against Germany, he says he's confident that the Black Stars will score against Portugal. He says we have the quality players. Based on the number of quality players we have so far, he is very sure that we are going to score against Portugal. So I also have this watcher seller who's been feeding the bus conductors over here. So Mami, finding out from you, and then who matching is saying?
The thing is, Ghana, there's no way I say Ghana beats my show Portugal. Because senior man, they were a senior man. Young Ghana for I say nyadi. But as a Ghanaian, I wish my country best. As a Ghanaian, I wish my country best. But the thing is, it can't be possible. It can't be possible. Like we need GDP Ghana. It's not a reality. Stop making noise.
All right, so already the guys have started giving us some morale over there. Let me find out from them. So let me see. Me will say otonyo ya kakra na otonyo abemwe onyame bosano abemwe onyame bosano abemwe
promise land no ya be shut Portugal ya je World Cup na onyame bo ehye bo ma Comoros share kain sa.
So it's a divided attention here in Kumasi. Some are saying they are confident in the Black Stars. Others are also saying that it's going to be quite a tough game for the Black Stars. But hopefully, we are all supporting the Black Stars from here at Kumasi. Over to you, Abigail, in the studios.
Of course, divided opinions over there, but you cannot fault to anyone. But I'm sure deep down, they know that the Black Stars of Ghana will be able to do something good for us later today. But we'll take a break. We're back to continue.